Covering news where you live. This is 5 News.
For joining us for the top stories and weather on this Thursday, I'm Tiffany Lee.
And I'm Joe Ellison. Cities in Northwest Arkansas hit by the Memorial Day weekend storms are doing what they can to speed along that recovery process.
Right now, they're applying for FEMA aid from the government, but some are dipping into their own money to get things going.
Rogers City Council approved moving $8.5 million from the city's savings into recovery funds to keep track of the money spent for later reimbursement. $8 million will go towards debris removal and the other $500,000 towards emergency protective measures.
While over $1.5 million has already been spent cleaning up, Peter with the city says that the $8.5 million could just be the tip of the iceberg.
Not sure what the timeline is, but I think we're talking months here, and yet everybody is dedicated to getting Rogers cleaned up, and so I don't think there's a situation where we don't see Rogers, completely cleaned up. We're going to do what it takes.
Bentonville is also moving forward with debris cleanup. The city council approved a budget of just under $7 million for a contractor and consulting service.
Early voting starts today for the Oklahoma primary election. Voters will only be casting ballots on state and local races. Early voting in the election is happening today and tomorrow from 8 to 6, then Saturday from 8 to 2. Then primary election day is next Tuesday. Now, if you plan on heading out to Lake Fayetteville today, you may want to spend some time figuring out where you're going to park. That's
because the lake's main parking lot on East Lake Fayetteville Road will be closed for most of the morning and then early afternoon. The closures are a part of an ongoing road maintenance project that's being done by the city. The lots will be open in time for softball games that are going on tonight.
All right, we're going to get to more news for you in just a minute.
But first, let's send it over to Zach for a check of today's forecast.
Thanks, ladies. Definitely time to start hitting those pools in the lakes as the heat is cranking up. Hottest stretch of weather we've seen so far, 2024. Not going to be the last time we say it, but it is what it is, right? Temperatures will jump into the 90s in parts of northwest Arkansas today. I think we'll have widespread 90s by tomorrow. We're deeper in those low to mid 90s for the River Valley today, up to 95 degrees. Now, you factor in the mugginess, and I think for your Thursday, it could feel as hot as 97, 98 degrees for the River Valley. Closer to 93, 94 is what the heat index values could get up to in northwest Arkansas. Again, widespread 90s for highs Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. River Valley, high temperatures into the upper 90s. You factor in the mugginess, and all of 5 country will likely be feeling closer to 100 degrees Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Overall, can't rule out a stray shower, really closer to the Missouri border. I think the best chances for rain do stay overall to the north of us. And then we'll have a slightly better chance, ladies, as we get into early next week. Some deep tropical moisture coming from the Gulf of Mexico, going to try to give us a few pop-up afternoon showers. We'll continue to monitor that, plus the heat over the next several days.
All right, thanks for that, Zach. Well, a call for safer streets in Fort Smith. Leaders have unveiled a plan to improve streets where a number of serious and fatal injuries have taken place.
5 News reporter Lauren Spencer breaks down how the plan would keep drivers, cyclists, and pedestrians safer in problem areas.
I think the city has gone through a lot of trauma in certain areas from people who have been hit and killed and seriously injured. And so for us to evaluate these high injury corridors and really commit to improving safety, I think it's going to go a long way.
Everyone deserves to feel safe on the roads in Fort Smith. So says mobility coordinator Michael Mings.
Not everybody has a car. Not everybody can afford a vehicle. One of the big focuses of this plan is equity.
That's the safe, comprehensive plan the city's been working on to improve specific roads.
These things go a long way for creating safe conditions where people feel like walking and riding bikes are a more viable option for them, perhaps getting them out of their car.
Fort Smith averages 54 serious or fatal injury crashes a year. Now the Fort Smith Board of Directors has pledged to get that number to 0 by 2050.
In August of 2022, our Board of Directors adopted a Vision Zero policy.
Many roads are on the list for improvements, including the intersection of Grand and Greenwood.
They're 2 of the most dangerous locally owned roads in the state of Arkansas.
Fixes could look like
rapid flashing beacons now at pedestrian crossings and more pedestrian islands, improving lighting, so making things more visible for folks. To evaluate streets that have excessive right-of-way.
As Mings looks toward the future of what Fort Smith could be.
So if we can create a built environment in Fort Smith where people don't have to have a vehicle to get around, then I think we've done a really good job of making Fort Smith an affordable place to live and to call home.
In Fort Smith, covering news where you live, Lauren Spencer, 5 News.
The Fort Smith Board of Directors will vote to adopt the Safe Comprehensive Plan next month.
Those are some of your top headlines on this Thursday. Thank you so much for joining us.